Imagine standing in front of a room full of people, your heart racing, palms sweaty, and the weight of every eye on you. Now picture yourself not crumbling under that pressure, but thriving, your voice steady, your words clear, and your audience hanging on every syllable. This transformation isn't a fantasy reserved for the naturally charismatic. It's a skill, one that can be honed through deliberate practice. What happens if you dedicate 30 days to practicing public speaking? The journey is not just about mastering a podium. It's about reshaping how you think, connect, and carry yourself in the world. Over the next month, you'll embark on a deeply personal evolution, one that ripples through your confidence, relationships, and ability to influence others. Let's dive into what unfolds when you commit to this challenge, exploring the highs, the hurdles, and the profound changes that await. The first few days of practicing public speaking feel like stepping into a new skin. You might start small, perhaps delivering a short speech to a mirror or recording yourself on your phone. The initial discomfort is palpable, your own voice sounds foreign, and every pause feels like a lifetime. You notice quirks you never knew you had, a nervous laugh, a tendency to rush words, or hands that fidget without purpose. This self-awareness is the first gift of the process. By day 3 or 4, you're not just speaking, you're observing yourself as a speaker, catching the habits that dilute your presence. You begin experimenting, slowing your pace, emphasizing keywords, or standing taller. These early days are humbling. They strip away any illusions of instant mastery and force you to confront your vulnerabilities. Yet, there's a quiet thrill in this vulnerability, a sense that you're laying the foundation for something powerful. As you move into the first week, you start to seek feedback, perhaps from a trusted friend or by joining a group like Toastmasters. This is where the real growth begins. Feedback, though sometimes stinging, becomes your compass. You learn that your monotone delivery flattens your message, or that your gestures distract rather than enhance. You practice incorporating these insights, maybe filming yourself again to see the difference. The act of speaking starts to feel less like a performance and more like a craft. You're not just reciting words, you're sculpting an experience for your listener. This movement in perspective is subtle but profound. You begin to care less about how you sound and more about how your audience feels. By the end of week 1, you've likely delivered a handful of short talks, each one slightly better than the last. The mirror is no longer an enemy, it's a partner in your progress. By the second week, you're ready to push your boundaries. You might volunteer to speak at a team meeting or give a presentation to a small group. The stakes feel higher now and the nerves resurface, but they're different. They're not the paralyzing fear of the first day, they're the electric buzz of anticipation. You've learned to channel this energy, using it to sharpen your focus. You start to notice something else. Your preparation is more intentional. You're not just winging it anymore, you're structuring your talks with a clear beginning, middle, and end. You experiment with storytelling, weaving a personal anecdote into your speech, and you see how it captivates your audience. This is when you realize public speaking isn't just about delivering information, it's about creating connection. Your colleagues lean in, they nod, they smile. For the first time, you feel the power of your own voice, not as a tool for self-expression, but as a bridge to others. The physical changes are just as striking. Around this time, you become acutely aware of your body language. You've been practicing standing with purpose, shoulders back, hands relaxed but expressive. You notice how these small adjustments make you feel more grounded, not just when speaking but in everyday interactions. Your posture improves, and with it, your sense of authority. You catch yourself making better eye contact, not just with an audience but with strangers, coworkers, even friends. This newfound presence spills over into your personal life. You're more assertive in conversations, more willing to share your thoughts without second-guessing. The act of speaking publicly, even in practice, is rewiring how you carry yourself. You're not just practicing a skill, you're embodying a new way of being. Halfway through the 30 days, you hit a plateau, and this is where the challenge tests your resolve. The initial excitement of progress gives way to frustration. Some days, your delivery feels flat, or you stumble over words you thought you'd mastered. You might even dread your practice sessions, questioning whether you're improving at all. This is the crucible of growth, the moment where persistence separates those who improve from those who stall. You lean on the habits you've built, setting aside time each day to practice, even when it feels like a slog. You experiment with new techniques, maybe incorporating humor or varying your vocal tone. You seek out tougher audiences, perhaps presenting to a group of strangers or tackling a topic outside your comfort zone. These challenges reignite your progress, not because they're easy, but because they force you to adapt. You learn that public speaking isn't about perfection, it's about resilience, about showing up even when you don't feel ready. By the third week, you're no longer just practicing public speaking, you're living it. You start to see opportunities everywhere, a chance to pitch an idea at work, to lead a discussion in a community group, or even to give a toast at a family gathering. Each opportunity builds your confidence, not because you nail every speech, but because you're learning to recover from the stakes. You flub a line, you pause, you laugh it off, and you keep going. This ability to stay composed under pressure is one of the most valuable skills you gain. It's not just about speaking, it's about handling life's unpredictability with grace. You also notice how your listening skills improve. To become a better speaker, you've had to study great speakers, and in doing so, you've learned to listen more deeply, to pick up on nuances in tone and delivery. This makes you a better communicator overall, someone who can engage in any conversation with clarity and empathy. As you approach the final days of the 30-day challenge, the transformation is undeniable. You decide to cap the month with a significant speech, perhaps a formal presentation or a public event. The preparation is meticulous. You refine your content, rehearse relentlessly, and visualize success. When the moment arrives, you step into it with a confidence you didn't know you could possess. The nerves are still there, but they're your allies now, sharpening your focus. Your voice carries, your gestures are natural, and your message resonates. The audience responds, not just with applause, but with genuine engagement. They ask questions, they share their thoughts, they connect with you. This is the culmination of your efforts, but it's also a beginning. You've unlocked a skill that will serve you for life. One that opens doors in your career, deepens your relationships, and amplifies your voice in the world. Reflecting on the 30 days, you realize the changes go far beyond public speaking. Your self-confidence has grown, not because you're suddenly flawless, but because you've proven to yourself that you can face fear and grow through it. You're more comfortable in your own skin, more willing to take risks, whether that's speaking up in a meeting or trying something new in your personal life. Your relationships have subtly shifted, too. Friends and colleagues notice your newfound presence. They listen when you speak, and they seek your input more often. Professionally, you're seen as a leader, someone who can articulate ideas and inspire others. Even your mental clarity has improved. The discipline of crafting a speech has taught you to organize your thoughts more effectively, making you a sharper thinker overall. The most profound change, though, is how you see yourself. Public speaking, at its core, is about owning your voice, about believing that what you have to say matters. Over these 30 days, you've internalized that belief. You've gone from dreading the spotlight to embracing it, from doubting your abilities to trusting your growth. This shift isn't just about speaking, it's about how you show up in the world. You're no longer the person who shrinks from attention or second-guesses their worth. You're someone who steps forward, who speaks with purpose, who connects with authenticity. The 30-day challenge may end, but its lessons endure, shaping every conversation, every opportunity, every moment where you choose to let your voice be heard.